Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
Rex.
So this is a gift. This is also Schappert Trash Tight.
Schappert.
There he is. You know.
Do this.
You know. Grand Teton, we've had several of things that they've done, but we've not had their malted barley.
Okay, I know the Grand Teton Mountains.
Yeah. Whiskey is all they call it. Grand Teton Whiskey, Idaho.
Idaho. Ah, okay. I like Idaho. I've been to Sun Valley, Idaho. It's beautiful.
And this is...
I think that may have been the last vacation I went on. I was like 17.
For last real vacation?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is batch 1, by the way. So they source their grains from local farms.
Yeah.
2-row, double distilled in a copper pot.
I get apple cider and cinnamon.
Called whiskey because it's an ex-bourbon and finished in red wine barrels.
Okay.
I'm not getting the red wine right now, but I am getting a cinnamon apple. Yeah, fresh cinnamon apple.
Yeah.
Maybe a little caramel apple, like dip it in caramel sauce.
Yeah. Specifically, I'm getting like a cider version. An apple cider and some cinnamon. I like the nose. I really like
Very fruity.
I like cider, yeah.
I don't like cider, but I like this.
Yeah. What was the 40%? Wow. Again, a really nice present nose for a really low proof.
Now I'm getting more honey.
Yeah, it does evolve, right? More honey and a little bit more fruitiness now, beyond just
Almost
apple fruitiness.
Like Honey Nut Cheerio, like the oats, right?
Yeah.
It's very pretty. Very pretty, that's the right word. It's very pretty.
Less sweet on the taste.
Oh, but not flat or funky.
Right.
Just simple.
Where I was expecting a sugary, almost a desserty level sweetness, it's more of like a natural fruity level of sweetness.
And a grain, but not grain forward. Like it doesn't taste young, but it does taste soft, grain softness.
Right.
Like I've always felt that wheat should taste like the word sounds, wheat. It just sounds soft. And then you eat it, it tastes like any other grain. Right? It's like, oh, it's grain. Yeah. But like wheat. And actually, the way that honey wheat bread tastes is the way that I feel like the word wheat should apply, right?
Okay.
Like honey wheat bread.
Yeah.
It used to be when I worked in a bakery, that was my favorite thing that we made, and when it came off fresh was honey wheat. And I'd cut fresh slices off of that and put butter on it.
Yeah.
And you don't even need like jam or honey or anything on it, just butter and oh God. And that's that direction, this soft grain, honey and fruit in the nose, not in the palate. That
said, you absolutely can tell on the taste that it's a 40% ABV.
Oh yeah, it's soft, simple.
Yeah, and it gets a little thin, and the flavors, based on the nose, I think the flavors want to give you a lot more, but it can't do it at 80 proof.
Yeah, not that complex, but this is good quality. Like they haven't shortcutted anything other than proofing it down so far that I can't taste a lot.
This is one of those whiskeys where you get it at a low proof, and I understand the economics of why, but you just really would love to see what that was like at like a cask strength or maybe even 100 proof. Yeah, because you can tell there's a lot there, a lot more that it wants to give you. Yeah. But it's not quite able
I wonder
to do
how, I wish more craft would find the proof that the whiskey lives at. Yeah. Instead of just pick one or the other. Like right now it's like either you get cask or you get largest bottle count. Right. And if you're trying to get your name out there, I don't know. I don't feel like per barrel another 10 bottles or 15 bottles is going to be the difference between your name succeeding and not succeeding, especially with the flavor lost at that bottle count.
You know, we always talk about, who is the whiskey intended for? And I think whenever you're a maker and you want to make it as, as widely friendly as possible, then you're going to be proofing it down. But that's gonna rarely be, unless you can somehow be like a hometown local hero when it comes to whiskey.
Yeah.
That's rarely going to be the right strategic angle to take to create something to where somebody who's enough of a whiskey nerd to bother poking at the craft options in their area.
They need more.
They're not going to be satisfied with an 80 proof. They want, it doesn't have to be cask necessarily.
See, this is why I think what Balcones did was the right approach to it, and so did Iron Root, which is they released a lot of cask and all of this interesting complex. And then once they had become like everywhere that reasonable craft can be, then they went back and released a pot still bourbon at a lower proof and more accessible. Now that they've got distribution handled, and they know that when they produce this, it can go across like half of the United States. It's like now we deliver an entry point bourbon.
Good quality, but doesn't quite live up to what it could be based on what I'm tasting.
Yeah, even based on what the nose hinted at.
King of Card 91, my partner doesn't mooch from me. She just pours out a whiskey every time I touch the thermostat.
So it's whiskey drinking as retribution.
That's very funny.
It's like every time you do something that they don't approve of, they just grab one of your bottles and pour a sip. I never thought about that.
Start walking across the room, you go like this. And they start reaching for the thermostat, you go like this. And the longer
do it, I don't care.
The longer the finger's on there, the more they just keep pouring. Because you have to hold it down.
That would be we should start using that for any infraction of the marriage relationship. It's like, oh, you did that thing I don't like, or you left the cupboard doors open again, or you put back an empty milk jug, or then it's like, okay.
AKA reject. How did a man like Daniel, who finds so many smells and tastes repugnant, get a job smelling and tasting things?
Here's the thing that I would argue. Are you ready? This is my rebuttal.
That's very funny.
This is what I would argue.
That's very funny.
Anyone who pays a real amount of attention to every taste and smell in their life will find an equal amount of things that they don't like. That I have. I'm just verbalizing it more than most.
That's a good position for you to have concocted for yourself.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As an answer to this very reasonable question.
I would say it's not that I find more things repugnant than other people.
I'm just more aware.
No. It's that I'm more willing to talk about it where others are more polite.
All right.
That's what I mean.
All right.
I think other people find just as many things that they don't like. They just keep it to themselves. And I don't.
Yes, that's a very reasonable
That's what I'm going with.
explanation.
Now, on that note, remember, anything that you send to us in the mail that arrives after October 1st,
if Daniel finds it repugnant,
will not be reviewed.
He will send it back.
On this channel, because we are over a year away from anything that's been sent so far, and that is far too long. There's a very long explanation about this whole thing. There's going to be a time-stamped link in the description of this video. Click on it if you want to know why. But if it comes to us after October 1st, I will be trying to find you and figure out what you want to do with those whiskeys.
Long story short, the Magnificent Bastards have been entirely too generous.
Just too magnificent.
And anybody that's sending bottles at this point will have to wait way too long. We can't, in good conscience, make people wait that long for us to get to a bottle. But yeah, time-stamped link in the description below. It's kind of like, this. You smell it, you taste it, and you're like, that's what it is. It's
it could have been, what could have been?
Here's to fight, extinguish, drink.
If you fight me, I fight for a friend.
Steal me, steal your liver.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.